Hi everyone, it's Ruby, and today I wanted to share with you all my updated highlighting, contouring and baking routine. You will see that the highlighting and the contouring in this video isn't too over the top, and it's very natural and easy to do, and it's very daytime appropriate. So let us begin. I'm starting off with skin that is already moisturized and primed. The choice of foundation today for my dry skin is my MAC Studio Sculpt foundation in the shade NC25. I'm sure you all know how to apply your foundation, but I wanted to share with you my tips and my method for applying my base makeup. Now, which comes first, foundation or concealer? I'm a firm believer that applying your foundation first and then applying your concealer afterwards on any areas that you have imperfections poking through is the best way for you to apply your base makeup. When it comes to actually applying my foundation, I like to use a paddle brush first, and I like to start by applying my foundation on any problem areas first. For me, this is on the sides of my face because that's where I used to have my hormonal acne. So this is where the majority of the foundation that I squeezed on the back of my hand is going to go. And the area that generally needs the least amount of foundation or coverage is typically the forehead. With the foundation that is remaining on the back of my hand, I like to go ahead and apply it to any problematic areas that are still poking through. With a larger synthetic or blending brush, buff the foundation out on your skin and also blend it out onto your neck to make sure that there's no foundation lines from the brush. I have some scarring left behind on my cheeks and temple from the acne that I used to have, and the foundation alone can't cover it. But lucky there is such a thing called concealer, and that should do the trick. I'm using my favorite spot concealer, and this is the Clinique Anti-Blemish Solutions Concealer in the shade number 2. To apply this product, I'm using my Angled Pixel Concealer Brush by Sigma Beauty, and I'm applying this concealer directly onto the area where I want to conceal, and with my fingers I'm quickly blending this out because this concealer does set very quickly. And I'm just taking the remaining amount of concealer on a foundation brush and running it around the edges of my nostrils. All I'm doing here is quickly grooming through my brows, filling them in, and also setting them in place using a brow gel. And I'll be sure to place the product names in the description. And now we're on to concealing and highlighting our under eye area. Many people, including myself, have made the mistake of purchasing a concealer that is way too light for your skin tone. And when you use a very pale concealer underneath the eyes, it doesn't actually conceal or correct. It simply just makes the area a lighter shade of grey. So I'm concealing my under eyes first by taking a concealer. This is the Mineralize concealer by MAC Cosmetics, and this is in the shade NC20, so it's similar to my actual foundation shade. Blend your concealer out using a synthetic brush and then move on to building up your contour. Here I have the L'Oreal Paris Glam Bronze Eau de Soleil Liquid Bronzer. I'm using this liquid bronzer not only to bronze up my skin and warm up my complexion, this is my transition color for my contour so it looks more realistic. The same way we have a transition color to marry our crease color with our highlight, I'm doing the same thing with my contour so everything looks seamless, and this will ensure that we won't have two diagonal lines across our face. You want to apply your transition shade anywhere that you're going to be applying your contour. And the trick to making this product look realistic is to take the liquid bronzer and blend it back right into your hairline. Now the next step is to contour. I personally prefer to use cream contouring and highlighting products, but you can also opt for powder. The first contour shade I am placing underneath my cheekbones is the CK1 Compact Foundation in the shade 500 Tan. You would have recognized this product from a previous contour video and also some of my current tutorials. This is the perfect shade of contour if you're on the paler side, such as myself. And I'm popping this on underneath my cheekbones and across my temples using a smaller synthetic brush. And with a Real Techniques contour brush, I'm blending this all out so it blends seamlessly into my skin. To deepen up our contour, making it more hollow, shadow-like and realistic, I'm taking the Models Prefer contour stick and I'm simply running this underneath my cheekbones and taking it up to my ear. You want to drag the product up to where your ear starts and where your sideburns are. That's where the top of your cheekbones are and where they start, and you want to drag the product just halfway down the side of your face. I also contoured the tip of my nose using that same contour stick. And contouring the tip of your nose just helps to narrow the tip and also shorten it. I am a huge fan of contour sticks, and I think they're really practical. They're shaped in a way to deliver the right amount of product, and if you use the edges or the corner of the product, you're still able to contour smaller areas just like I did with my nose. I used a standard foundation or paddle brush to blend out the contour on my nose, and I've gone back in and used the Real Techniques contour brush to blend out that contour that we placed right underneath our cheekbone. And now it's time to move on to highlighting. My favorite highlighter to use is the MAC Prep and Prime. This highlighter has a slight yellow tone to it, which is perfect because wherever you apply this product, it helps make it look brighter. The areas or the points on my face that I like to apply this highlighter to are obviously underneath my eyes and on the inner corners of my eyes, so this area has most of the darkness. I also like to apply my highlighter around my mouth, including on my cupid's bow, and also underneath my contour to make it pop, and also on the center of my forehead. To blend out my highlighter, I just take a thermal spring water spray and lightly spritz that all over my brush. And for this, you don't want your brush to be wet, you're just giving it a very light mist. And I'm blending that into my base makeup using mostly tapping motions, but also using light dragging motions as well. You can also highlight on your chin and also down your nose bridge, but I find with my face shape, I really don't need to highlight these areas. So remember, if you'd like to bring an area of your face forward, you highlight, and anywhere you'd like to recede back and make smaller, you contour. My favorite product category of makeup has to be highlighter, and my favorite highlighter at the moment is the BECCA Shimmering Skin Perfector in the shade Pearl, and I'm just applying that to the tops of my cheekbones, right on the dip of my nose and also on the tip of my nose, and I'm also applying that on my cupid's bow just to bring it forward. With whatever's remaining on my brush, I just highlight above my brows to give my skin a really nice radiant glow. Now this next step is going to keep our highlight in place. It's going to further brighten this area, and if you've got any lines underneath your eyes, this will help reduce the amount of creasage underneath the eye area. You want to take your favorite loose translucent powder and a sponge that has a flat edge. Slightly dampen your makeup sponge by using a thermal spring water spray, some Fix Plus, or even both like I did here. Dip the flat edge of your sponge in some loose powder and slightly run this underneath the eyes by using tapping motions. And I'm taking quite a bit of this powder and knocking this underneath my eyes. Let the powder sit for around about 5 minutes and move on to baking another area of your face. Another area of my face that I like to bake is underneath my cheekbones where I applied my highlight. And once again, I'm using the flat end of my sponge to help crisp up my contour. Let the powder sit on your face for about 5 minutes max, and then go ahead and use a clean brush to brush this all off. This technique might make some people cringe, some people might not believe that it actually works, but ever since I started baking my under eye area especially, I have found that the product underneath my eyes take a lot longer to crease, so it has definitely reduced the amount of creasing that I have underneath the eyes, and as you can see, it has just made my contour look even better. I love my new contouring routine. I think it's perfect for daytime looks like this one, and it looks very chic and glam as well when you are wearing a more evening appropriate look. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial, and if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. I would love to hear your video suggestions and ideas for my next tutorial, so don't forget to leave me a comment down below, and I will see you all in my next video. I love you guys, bye!